couple of weeks ago, I saw a video titled "Why You Shouldn't Learn How to Code." It was quite weird to me because I think that, honestly, you should learn how to code. And for me, learning how to code was probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. But it got me thinking, if I had to come up with why not to learn how to code, what would that be? This is what this video is about. Hello there, welcome everyone. My name is Marco and I'm a full stack developer. And today I want to give my reasons to why you shouldn't learn how to code. Okay, let's start from the obvious one. Programming is not for everybody. And I don't mean that coding and programming is so difficult that not everybody can learn. Absolutely. Actually, coding can be learned by anyone at any age. What I'm referring to is more of an attitude-wise thing. Coding is a physically challenging thing. And I know it sounds weird. I mean, how come you're basically sitting at a desk all day? But that's the challenge. And let's face it, not everyone wants to be sitting at a desk watching at a monitor for hours at a time, just sitting down and even working in an office. Personally, I have a friend who started working in an office, not in programming, and he basically quit 3 days later. When I asked him why, he said that he couldn't really spend 8 hours every day sitting at a desk watching at a computer. And to be honest, that is totally understandable. And that is why you should seriously consider that maybe programming is not really the choice you want to make. Because that is going to be your day-to-day life. I mean, most likely, especially if you find a job. I recently rewatched the movie The Social Network, which is about the start of Facebook. And in that movie, coding and programming is very romanticized. I mean, there is this bunch of guys living in a house in California, just coding, having fun, binge drinking, they have a pool. Well, programming is not really like that. Sitting at a desk trying to debug something at times can really drain your will to live. Another reason is that programming nowadays is super chaotic. There are countless technologies and libraries and even languages just popping out of the ground like flowers. It is almost impossible to wrap your head around all this. I mean, on the web, there's always been the good old triad with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Well, not anymore. Now we have frameworks like React, Angular, Vue. Now CSS has like 10 children with Sass, PostCSS, Less, and even JavaScript now has a rival in WebAssembly. And even those new technologies are almost being replaced, or maybe improved, let's say, by other meta frameworks coming behind them. Take React.js for instance. We have Next.js, which is a meta framework to enhance the capability that React.js have. And you need to keep up to date with that. Vue has another one called Nuxt.js. Very creative names, by the way. And even if you wanted to approach a simple and harmless language like JavaScript, there are countless libraries nowadays just to do the most basic stuff. You have one library for basically everything. Authentication, automation, animation, 3D manipulation. I mean, what? It's overwhelming and it doesn't seem to slow down. If anything, it's actually gonna get worse. And if you're just starting out, this aspect can really be an obstacle for you. You know, it's like the famous Greek donkey. Among two piles of ale, it didn't know which one to eat first and it just starved to death. That is a bit extreme, but you get the picture. And that's pretty much it. That's all I can come up with reasons to not to learn how to code. But if you think that these are not going to be obstacles for you, your passion and your grit and your willpower are stronger, and even challenges actually make you work harder, then sure, programming is for you. On the other hand, if you know you don't want to spend hours sitting at a desk trying to solve problems that can always be different day by day, or you're not the type of person who wants to keep learning new stuff every single time, but you can just learn one thing and that lasts forever, then programming is not for you. I'm sorry. You'd be better off with something else. You can spend time doing something else, and honestly that is super fine. As long as you are happy and satisfied with what you're doing, that is good. That is the right path for you. Unless it's illegal. In that case, you should stop. But hey, who am I to judge? This is all for this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and share. And if you really want to help this channel, well then, subscribe. I'll see you at the next one. Ciao.